We are looking at chapter number 13, magnetic effects of electric current. So magnetic effects of electric current, the question and answer, board question answer, important question and answer. Describe an activity to show that magnetic field lines produced when current is passed through the circular coil. So our aim is to study the characteristic of magnetic field produced by current carrying circular coil at its center. The apparatus that we will require is rectangular cardboard having two holes, thick copper circular coils of different radii having known number of turns, the key, the battery, the rheostat, the stand and iron fillings. So how we are going to go about this? We have to first of all pass the coil through two holes of cardboard in such a way that half of the loop is above the cardboard and remaining part should be below it and normal to the plane of cardboard. So this is our cardboard. This is the coil we are talking about, half here and half on the below side. Okay. Now we need to connect this circuit as shown here. This is the wire, which is the coil actually. This is current, this is flowing through it. Rheostat, the battery, the key, and these are the line of forces of magnetic force lines will be created. Now we need to sprinkle iron fillings uniformly on the cardboard like this. You just have to randomly sprinkle them. Now allow the current to pass through the coil by inserting plug in the key. So when you press the key, the current would pass. You see the pattern of iron filling that emerges on the cardboard after tapping gently a few times, and this will be like this. In the circular with different radius, the iron fillings will align themselves. So place the compass at any point over the pattern of field and observe the direction of needle. So what observation do we get here? The iron fillings are arranged in the form of concentric circle. The concentric circle become larger and larger as away from the wire like this, as you see in the figure. And at the center of the loop, lines are almost near, or you can say straight and perpendicular to the plane of the loop. What conclusion we draw here? The concentric circles at every point of a current carrying circular loop represent the magnetic field around it. So this is the magnetic field, you can say direction. Then the magnetic field line close to the axis of the loop is straight and perpendicular to the plane of the coil, and the field line keep on diverging as we move from the center of the loop. If we move away, they seem to be diverging. What is meant by a solenoid? How does a current carrying solenoid behave? Give its main use. So this is a solenoid, a coil, this is a coil of many turns of insulated copper wire. This is a copper wire wound around a circular, or you can say cylindrical, circular is the cross section. This is a cylindrical insulating body. You can have a cardboard, etc., such that its length is greater than its diameter. The length is greater than the diameter. This length from this point to this point is greater than the diameter. This is called a solenoid. So here we have this one is the insulating body cylinder, and this is these black one which is wrapped around is the conducting wire. So when a current is flowing through the solenoid, the magnetic field lines pattern resemble exactly with those of a bar magnet with the fixed polarity, that is north and south pole at its end, and it acquires the directive and attractive properties similar to the bar magnet. Therefore the current carrying solenoid behaves like a bar magnet. And the use of this current carrying solenoid, in which way we can use? It is used to form temporary magnet, which is called as electromagnet, as well as the permanent magnet. For the current carrying solenoid, as seen here, draw magnetic field lines and giving reason explain that out of 3 points, this A, B and C, at which point the field strength is maximum and which point it is minimum. So if you see here, outside the solenoid magnetic field is minimum. So at the ends of the solenoid, that means these two, magnetic field strength is half of that it is inside. So we can say that minimum is at point B, maximum is point A. As you see here, this is the diagram of the magnetic lines. So here the lines are almost straight, and here the radius increases like this, and the strength also decreases. So maximum here, and then it goes decreasing on the outside. With the help of a diagram of experimental setup, described an activity to show that the force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in magnetic field increases with increase in field strength. So what we have to do is, we have to show that force acting on a current carrying conductor which is placed in magnetic field, it increases with the field strength. What apparatus we would require is aluminum rod, stand, horseshoe magnet of different intensity, cell, key and connecting wires. So the procedure will be something like this. We have to arrange the setup like this. Okay, this is the magnet, this is the stand, this is the wire, and here we have this which we had the shoe magnet. This is the shoe magnet of different intensity. So we have to plug the key, that is this key, this is the battery. Plug the key, the current flowing through the rod which is from Q to P, this rod, and we have to observe the displacement of rod. Now we unplug the key and remove the first horseshoe magnet and place the second one, because we want different intensity. So this is a horseshoe magnet. We take it off and put another one with different intensity, with higher magnetic field strength, you can say. Now we need to plug the key again, and the current again flow through the rod PQ. We again observe the deflection of rod. Now we bring both the magnet close together in order to ensure that greater magnetic field than that of previous case, and we again observe the motion of the rod. So what are the observations we draw from here? Each time the conductor moves faster than the previous one. So it is possible only when the conductor gets accelerated more each time. What is the force? Mass into acceleration, with more force. So if the magnetic field strength is increased, the rod will experience greater force and it will move faster. The conclusion we draw here is, the force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in magnetic field, it increases with the increase in field strength. What are magnetic field lines? Justify these statements. First of all, let us see what is magnetic field lines. Magnetic field lines, it can be defined as the path along which the unit north pole, that is imaginary, tends to move in a magnetic field, if it is free to do so. And two magnetic field lines, they never intersect each other. Why? Justification has to be given. If two magnetic field lines they intersect, that means at the same point it has two directions. So the magnetic field lines of force, they do not intersect or cross each other. If they do so, then at this point of intersection, that means this point, the two tangents can be drawn as we saw here. At that point, we indicate that there will be two different directions of the same magnetic field. The compass needle needs to show different directions, which is not possible. That is impossible. That is why they never cross each other. Magnetic field lines are closed curves like this. And they are closed continuous curve. They diverge from north pole of a magnet and converge to its south pole. Inside the magnet, they move from south pole to north pole. So if this is south, north, let us take a bar magnet. So it starts from here, go inside, and then move inside from south to north, and it goes like this and this. This is the way. That is why they are circular. Describe activity with label diagram to show that a current carrying conductor experiences a force in a magnetic field. So without using a magnet, magnetic field can be produced by flowing the current through a straight conductor or a solenoid. So what we have to do here is to show the magnetic field exert a force on current carrying conductor, right? So apparatus would be aluminum rod, a stand. We need to have horseshoe magnet, strong horseshoe magnet, the key, the connecting wires, etc. So a current carrying rod, we have this PQ, is experiencing force here. So as we already saw in the previous discussion, the same thing which we are doing right here is, we need to hang the aluminum rod with the help of a clamp stand such that it passes between the north and south pole of the magnet with magnetic field directed upwards and the rod being horizontal and perpendicular to the field. We have to connect this aluminum rod in series and battery as you see here. We have to plug the key, this one. The current flows through this rod PQ, and we need to observe the direction of the motion of the rod. Then we reverse the direction of the current by reversing the battery connection, and we again observe the direction of displacement of aluminum rod. Then we restore the original direction of the current and change the direction of field vertically downwards by interchanging the two poles of the magnet now. And we observe the deflection of rod again. Now we place the wire parallel to the magnetic field and allow the current to flow through it. We again check the deflection of the rod. So what observation do we get? On plugging the key in this step, the rod moves towards left. Here, the rod moves right. Here, the rod moves right again. And in this step, the rod does not move in any direction. So the conclusion which we draw from here, magnetic force exert a force on a current carrying conductor first of all. The force exerted on the current carrying conductor depends on the direction of current and direction of magnetic field acting on it. And the displacement of the rod or the magnetic force on it is largest when the direction of current is at right angle to the direction of magnetic field. And when current carrying conductor is placed parallel to the magnetic field, it experiences no force. And the direction of force experienced by the current carrying straight conductor placed in a magnetic field which is perpendicular to it is given by Fleming's left hand rule. We need to stretch the thumb, forefinger and middle finger of left hand, see left hand, in such a way that they are perpendicular to each other. If the forefinger points in the direction of magnetic field and the middle finger in the direction of current, then the thumb will point in the direction of motion or the force which is acting on this conductor. Why and when does a current carrying conductor kept in magnetic field experience force? These are the factors on which the direction of the force depends. So the drifting of electrons, free electrons of a conductor in a definite direction causes the flow of current. When such conductor is placed in a uniform magnetic field, each drifted electron of a conductor experiences a magnetic force. So this force is collectively experienced by the conductor as a whole. Therefore, a current carrying conductor kept in a magnetic field experiences a force. And the direction of magnetic force, it depends on first the direction of current through the conductor and the direction of magnetic field. How is the strength of magnetic field near a straight current conductor? It is related to the strength of current in the conductor. The strength of the magnetic field, that is B, around a straight current conductor, it increases on increasing the strength of the conductor, current in the conductor, and this is vice versa also. And the second is affected by changing the direction of flow of current in the conductor. So the direction of magnetic field around a straight current carrying conductor gets reversed if the direction of current through that conductor is reversed. What is meant by the term frequency of an alternating current? Frequency of an alternating current. What is its value in India? Why is an alternating current AC considered to be advantageous over direct current for long range transmission of electrical energy? So frequency of alternating current is the number, see here, equal to the number of cycles completed per second in 1 second. In India, the frequency of AC current is 50 Hz or 50 cycles per second. An AC or alternating current is considered to be advantageous over direct current DC for long range transmission of electric energy, because it can be transmitted over long distances to distant places without much loss of electric power as compared to DC. State one main difference between AC and DC, alternating current and direct current. Why AC is preferred over DC for long range transmission of electric power? Name one source each of DC and AC. This came in 2014, 3 max. The difference between AC and DC, the AC alternating current reverses its direction periodically, while DC always flow in one direction. AC is preferred over DC because it can be transmitted over long distance without much loss of energy. So DC source is battery, AC source is an AC generator. State the consequence or consequences that can lead to a short circuit. Or you can also have one more question. This came in OR. One of the major cause of fire in office building is short circuiting. List 3 factors which will lead to the short circuit. So short circuit may occur because of failure of electrical insulation due to which live wire come in contact with neutral or earth wire. Presence of external conducting material like water which is introduced accidentally in the circuit. And electrical appliances are forced to operate when its moving parts are jammed. Connection of current carrying parts of electrical equipments come in contact with one another due to human or natural causes, or use of less rating wires. So when this happens, there is an excessive electric current which can damage the circuit, and this can cause electrical fires. Describe an activity to demonstrate the pattern of magnetic field lines around a straight conductor carrying current. So in order to do this, in order to study the magnetic field due to straight current carrying conductor, we need to have apparatus required is a thick conducting wire, a battery, a rheostat, a magnetic needle, an ammeter from 0 to 5 ampere reading, a key, a cardboard, a stand to hold the wire, iron fillings, and sprinkler of iron fillings. So what we will do here is, we will attach the thick wire through this hole. See, this is a cardboard and this is the wire. So we will attach a thick wire through the hole at the middle of the cardboard and clamp it on the stand. Attach the ends of the wire through a key. So this is a key, these are the ends, so this is the key. A variable resistor, that is the rheostat, an ammeter on either side of the battery, that means we can have either side of the battery, and hold it vertically and perpendicular to the board. Now we can spread the iron fillings here on the cardboard and place the magnetic field on the board. Close the key, this key, and tap the cardboard slightly, just tap them slightly and observe the orientation of iron filling. The magnetic field around a straight conducting wire, the concentric circle inside the field lines as you see here. So what will we observe? Just on closing this key, the iron fillings are aligned in a pattern of concentric circle like this. If you see here, this is the concentric circle, they are aligned. So the conclusion we draw is, current carrying conductor is a source of magnetic field, B. The magnetic field is in the form of concentric circle whose center lies on the wire. So we have right hand thumb rule. The rule is used for finding the direction of the magnetic field due to the straight current carrying conductor. So this is the direction of magnetic field. So this states that if we hold the current carrying conductor in the right hand in such a way that the thumb is stretched along the direction of current like this, this is the thumb, then the curl finger around the conductor represent the direction of magnetic field produced by it. This is known as right hand thumb rule. And direction of field lines due to current carrying straight conductor is, see, state the rule for the direction of magnetic field associated with current carrying conductor. We just talked about this. This is the right hand thumb rule. And the third is, what is the shape of current carrying conductor whose magnetic field resembles the bar magnet? And the answer is solenoid. This is the answer of the third one. Explain why there are two separate circuits, one for high power rating appliances and other for low power rating appliances. We have two separate circuits. These are formed in the domestic wiring. One for higher power rating appliances, this is called as power circuit, and other for low power rating, which is called as lightning circuit. So this power circuit, the circuit which draw heavy current, that is 15 ampere from mains and used for high power rating devices like the microwave, the oven, the air conditioner, geysers and washing machine. This is known as a power circuit. While lightning circuit, the circuit which draws small amount of current from the mains and used for low power rating devices like the bulb, the tube light, the fan, the TV, the computer, having a large rating of 5 ampere, but having, sorry, not a large rating, large is 15 ampere. Having a current rating of 5 ampere is known as lightning circuit. A domestic circuit has a fuse of 5 ampere. How many bulbs of rating 100 watt, 220 volt can be safely used in this circuit? Justify your answer. See, in India the correct voltage is 220 volt. This is the normal voltage. Now electric current which is flowing in the circuit, I is given by P by V. I is given in the question as 5 ampere. We know by 220. So what is the power? We have how many bulbs? So we just take it as n into 100 because one is having 100 watt power. N is the number of bulbs. So n will be, this power will be n into 100. So just put n into 100 is equal to, we have I and P, I and V. So I into V. So n will be found out by this discussion or this rearrangement of this formula. So n will be given by this 5 and 220 and this 100 in the denominator. So we get 11. 11 bulbs of 100 watt can be used in the house at correct voltage. Design an activity with the help of two nails, very thin in aluminum strip, a 12 volt battery and a key to illustrate. So this is the aim, is how we want to know how the electric fuse work. So we need two nails, cardboard, very thin aluminum strip, a 12 volt battery, key and connecting wires. So the procedure would be something like this. We insert two nails, one nail, second nail, vertically on the cardboard. This is the cardboard. We take very thin aluminum strip and tie it between the nails. So this is very thin aluminum strip. We make a circuit which is shown here in the figure with a 12 volt battery. This is a 12 volt battery and a key with the help of connecting wires. So if there are any fans running in the room, switch them off. Now switch on the current in the circuit by pressing the key, that is this key, or by moving this switch on the on position. Now pass the current through the circuit for some time. Observe the strand of aluminum steel between the two nails carefully. What is happening to this aluminum strip? We will observe that the strand of aluminum strip will melt and break quickly on passing the large electric current through it. The conclusion here is, when a current flows through the circuit exceeding the rate of aluminum strip, that is safe limit, its temperature would increase. This makes it overheated, and as a result aluminum strip melts and breaks the circuit. Therefore, thin aluminum strip between two nails act as a fuse wire. So this activity shows how does the fuse work. Then cable of microwave oven has three wires inside it, in which have insulation of different colors, black and green and red. Now mention the significance of three colors and potential difference between red and black one. So significance of this insulation color is, red color insulation wire is live wire, black color is neutral wire, green is the earth wire. So live wire is at higher potential, that is, this is at 220 volt, while the neutral wire is zero potential. So potential difference between red and black insulation wire is 220 volt. Explain any two situations that can cause electrical hazards in domestic circuits. First is connecting too many electrical devices to a single socket or in the extension cord for any length of time. It draws high current from the mains that will exceed the current rating of connecting wires. So the wires cannot withstand such a high current and they may melt and may cause fire. Then most electrical hazards in domestic circuit, these are caused by faulty electrical outlets, old and outdated appliances. So the chances of the short circuit, that is the contact of live wire and neutral wires with each other due to damage in their insulation or some fault in the appliances, these are quite high. So it may result spark at the contact point, which may even cause fire. List in tabular form two major differences between an electric motor and a generator. So this is the tabular differences. First, electric motor, it converts electrical energy to mechanical energy. Electric generator converts mechanical energy to electrical energy. The principle, if we talk about electric motor, it works on principle of magnetic effects of electric current. That is, when a current carrying conductor is placed perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field, it experiences a force, and the direction of force can be found by using Fleming's left hand rule. While in the case of electric generator, it is based on the electromagnetic conduction. The current can be induced in a coil by moving it in a magnetic field. The direction of induced current can be found by using the Fleming's right hand rule. Here in electric motor, the armature is rotated in the magnetic field by supplying electric current to it by some external source such as battery to get mechanical work. In electric generator, armature is rotated in magnetic field by some external mechanical force to produce electric current. In electric motor, split ring is used as a commutator to reverse the direction of flow of current and direction of force acting on the arms of a coil after every half of its rotation. This makes the coil to rotate continuously in the same direction. While in electric generator, the slip rings conduct the alternating current and split ring conduct the direct current to the external circuit through the brushes. Two coils C1 and C2 are wrapped around non-conducting cylinder. Coil C1, this one, is connected to a battery and a key. This is a battery, this is a key. And C2 with a galvanometer. This is a galvanometer. On pressing this key, this one, current starts flowing in the coil. C1, now when C1 has current, you have to observe the galvanometer current, because of course something will happen. What will happen? See, when key K is pressed on. So when we press key, the galvanometer needle deflects momentarily in one direction, this one. When current in the coil C1 is switched off, when the current in this coil is switched off, this galvanometer needle deflects again momentarily, but in opposite direction to that in the previous state. Then the third one is when the current is passed continuously through this coil C1. So when current is passed continuously through C1, there will be no deflection here. There will be no deflection in the galvanometer. Then name and state the phenomena responsible for the above observation. Write the name of the rule that is used to determine the direction of the current produced in the phenomena. So the phenomena responsible for these observations which you just saw is electromagnetic induction. This one. So electromagnetic induction, this is the process by which changing magnetic field in a conductor induces a current in another conductor place which is nearby. This is called electromagnetic induction. So now we have Fleming right hand rule. This is used to determine the direction of current produced in the phenomena of electromagnetic induction. Name the type of current used in household supply given by a cell. So alternating current is the type of current used in household supply, while given by the cell is direct current, DC we call it. State the direction of magnetic field in the following case. This is current and this is force on the conductor. So it is perpendicular to the plane of the paper in the outward direction. So you can point it like this by using Fleming left hand rule. Given application of electromagnetic induction, so you can name many. The phenomena is used in electric generator. Name the physical quantities which are indicated by the direction of thumb and forefinger in the Fleming right hand rule. So in Fleming right hand rule, the thumb would indicate the direction of motion of the conductor, forefinger will indicate direction of the magnetic field. A positively charged particle, which is alpha particle, projected towards west is deflected towards north by a magnetic field. The direction of magnetic field will be in which direction? So the answer is we have to apply Fleming left hand rule, and this will be upward. The given magnet is divided into three parts, A, B and C. Now name the parts where the strength of the magnetic field is maximum and minimum. How will the density of magnetic field lines differ at these parts? So the magnetic strength will be maximum at A and C, minimum will be at B. At A and C, magnetic field are crowded, while at B they are spread out. The compass needle is placed near a current carrying wire. State your observation for the following cases and give reasons for the same in each case. That is, the magnitude of electric current in the wire is increased. The compass needle is displaced away from the wire. So observation which we find here is, in the first case, the deflection of the needle will increase. What is the reason? The magnetic field B or magnetic field strength due to current carrying wire increases because it is directly proportional to the current. So it increases as current in the wire increases. While in the second case, we observe that the deflection in the compass needle decreases as its displacement from the current carrying wire increases. Why? Because this magnetic field is inversely proportional to R. So strength of magnetic field reduces with increase in the distance from the wire. Two magnets are lying side by side like this. Draw a magnetic field line between poles P and Q. So the situation will be like this. We always know it starts from N goes to S. Start from S goes to N like this. And you can spread it out like this also. What does the degree of closeness of magnetic field lines near the pole signify? So the degree of closeness of magnetic field line near the pole signify that the field is stronger there. That is, the pole of another magnet when placed in the magnetic field experiences a greater force where the field lines are crowded. Magnetic field lines of two magnets are shown like this, A and B. Select the figure that represents the correct pattern of field lines. You have to give reason for your answer. Also name the poles of the magnets facing each other. See, in this figure B, this suggests the correct pattern of the field lines. In figure A, if you see, the lines are crossing each other, which is not possible, because if they are crossing each other, that means like this, they will have direction like this. So at the same point, the magnetic field will have two directions at the same time, which is not possible. So they are crossing each other at the point of intersection. So there would be two directions of field line, which is not possible. But in figure B, field lines are emerging in nature. So always it emerges from north. So here also it is emerging. So emerging from north. So poles of magnetic facing each other, they are north poles, and this is south, this is south. While opposite faces are having south polarity. What is short circuiting? State one factor condition that can lead to it. Name a device in the household that acts as a safety measure for it, and state the principle of its working. So short circuiting, very dangerous. When electric circuit offers very low resistance to the flow of current through it, the current increases heavily and the circuit is said to be short circuited. When it occurs when the live wire it touches the neutral wire, and this happens due to the damage in the insulation of the power lines. So there are certain safety measures we can use, like fuse. So what is the working principle of fuse? It works on the heating effect of electric current, or Joule's law of heating. What this law says, that the heat produced in a resistor is directly proportional to the square of current, directly proportional to the resistance, and directly proportional to the time for which the current flows through the resistor. So H is equal to I square RT, like this. So this is the Joule's law of heating. So when current in the circuit increases, the wire with low melting point in it melts to the heat generated. Therefore the circuit breaks and the electrical wire and appliances are saved. Write one application of each of the following: right hand thumb rule, Fleming's left hand rule, and Fleming's right hand rule. First is right hand thumb rule. This is used for finding the direction of magnetic field in a coil of wire and the electric current in a straight conductor, right? Fleming left hand rule, this is used to find direction of force exerted by or force exerted on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field as in electric motor. While the Fleming right hand rule says to find the direction of induced current, that is I, here direction of force, in a closed circuit placed in a changing magnetic field as in electric generator. State one main difference between AC and DC. Why is AC preferred over DC for a long range transmission of electric power? Name one source each of AC and DC. So difference between AC and DC says that the alternating current reverses its direction periodically, while the direct current always flows in one direction. AC is preferred over DC because it can be transmitted over long distance without much loss of energy. This is important. So we have DC source as battery and AC source as AC generator. Two coils of insulated copper wire are wound over a non-conducting cylinder as shown here. Coil 1 has large number of turns. Write your observation when this K is closed and K is open. And we have to answer these also. When the current is passed continuously through coil 1, and you have to give reasons for your answer. And you have to name the phenomena responsible for this observation. Write the name the rule that is used to determine the direction of current produced in the phenomena, and name the two coils used in the experiment. So here this type of question we have already seen. So let us go through them very quickly. When this K key or key is closed, the galvanometer needle, it deflects momentarily in one direction. The reason is when the key is closed, magnetic field lines around this coil 2 will change or increase momentarily. This causes an induced current to flow through it, and hence the direction occurs in one direction. Deflection occurs in one direction. Now when key is opened, when this key is opened, again the needle deflects again momentarily but in opposite direction. Why? When key is open, the magnetic field lines around coil 2 here now decreases momentarily. This causes an induced current to flow in opposite direction. Therefore the deflection occurs in opposite direction. Then the third one is when current is passed continuously through this coil 1, no deflection will be observed in galvanometer. The reason is there will be no change in the magnetic field line passing through the coil 2 here. Therefore no induced current will be set up in coil 2. There has to be some change. Continuous will not give you any electric current. Then we have the phenomena which is observed in this case, as we already saw, that it is electromagnetic induction. It is a process by which a changing magnetic field in a conductor induces a current in another conductor placed which is nearby. So the rule we use here is Fleming right hand rule, and this coil 1 is a primary coil and the coil 2 is the secondary coil. This is the answer of the fifth one. Mention the effect of electric current on which the working of an electric fuse is based. So it is based on the heating effect of electric current, or Joule's heating you can say. Draw a schematic label diagram of domestic circuit which has a provision of main fuse, meter, one light bulb and a socket. So here we see this is the meter we have. This is the main and there is a fuse. This is a live wire, it can be red or orange. Then from mains we have this neutral wire which is in the meter. Then we have an earth wire also here. See, this is an earth wire. Now this is the socket. This earth wire is coming from the socket. Here we have a bulb. There are keys K1, K2, and this is the simple label diagram. Explain the term overloading of electric circuit. The flow of large amount of current through the circuit beyond its bearing capacity due to use of many high power rating devices at the same time. This is called overloading. We have to observe this figure and we have to answer certain questions. Write a special name given to the coil AB. This is A, this is B, which has many circular turns of insulated copper wire, and this is known as solenoid. State the nature of magnetic field inside AB when a current is passed through it. So this will be a uniform magnetic field, as you see here also. Redraw the diagram and sketch the pattern of magnetic field lines through and around AB. So through AB it will be like this, almost straight lines, and at the edges they will form a proper circular shape, not proper circular but a continuous shape. Then we have list two factors on which the strength of magnetic field produced by AB depends. So the magnitude of current which flows through it, it depends on it, and the number of turns which is in this circular coil. What is the effect of placing an iron core in this coil if you place iron core here? So it will become a electromagnet because of these properties. Insulation cover of which color is conventionally used for earth wire? Why is an earth wire connected to metallic parts of appliances? So for earth wire, green or yellow color insulation is used, generally green. So the earth wire provides a low resistance conducting path for the current, and it maintains the potential of appliances body with that of the earth. So earth wire is used as a safety measure. Identify the pole of the magnet given in these figure 1, figure 2. So always the field line will emerge from north. So here it is emerging, so it is north, and it will go inside or enter in from south. Here if we see that it has to be north, it is emanating from here and converging or going inside here. So that has to be a south. So field line emerge from north pole and merge at south pole. This you have to just remember, and this is north, this is south, this is north, this is south. Explain the role of fuse in series with any electrical appliances in an electric circuit. Why should a fuse with defined rating for an electric circuit not to be replaced by one with larger rating? So fuse is actually a safety device connected in series with live wire or with any electric appliances in an electric circuit. It stops the flow of unduly high electric current. Please understand, unduly high electric current in the circuit by getting melted because of the rise in temperature as per Joule's law of heating. So high rating fuse wire has a larger capacity. So it will not stop the flow of any relatively high current, as we said, unduly. So therefore the electric devices or electrical devices cannot be protected from the possible damage. A magnetic field associated with current carrying straight conductor is in anti-clockwise direction like this. If the conductor was held along east-west direction, so this is north, south, east-west direction, in this direction, east-west direction, what will be the direction of current through it? Name and state the rule being applied to determine the direction of current. So the direction of current is east to west, so as determined by your right hand thumb rule. So that right hand thumb rule, if we hold a current carrying conductor by right hand in such a way that straight thumb is along the direction of current and the curly fingers around the conductor represent the direction of field lines of magnetic field. This is how it is done. Two circular coils A and B are placed close to each other. If the coil in the coil A, that is current in the coil A, is changed or varied, will some current be induced in coil B? Give reason. Yes, when a current in coil A changes and when they are nearby, magnetic field line linked with coil B will also change. Therefore, due to change in the number of magnetic field lines, there will be an induced current in coil B as well. How will the magnetic field produced at any point due to current carrying circular coil change if we increase the current flowing through the coil? So the magnetic field at the center of the circular coil, see, it increases, that is B is directly proportional to I. B, it increases if the current is increased. So it increases the current flowing through. If you increase the current flowing through the coil, the magnetic field would increase. And reverse direction of current through the coil, so reversing on, it will reverse on reversing the current. It's going to reverse the direction. And if you increase the number of turns in the coil, see, increase, it will increase if the number of turns in the coil increases, as field is directly proportional to the number of coils also, number of turns in the coil, sorry. Mention the forces on which the direction of force experienced by a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field depend. So the direction of force experienced by the current carrying conductor depends on, first of all, the direction of current, that is I direction, and the direction of magnetic field. Under what condition is the force experienced by a current carrying conductor placed in magnetic field is maximum. So when the direction of current is at right angle to the direction of magnetic field, then the force is maximum. A proton beam is moving along the direction of magnetic field. What force is acting on a proton beam? No force is acting on a proton beam, because a proton beam is moving along a direction which is along the direction of magnetic field. So this is direction of magnetic field, and it is also moving in this direction, proton, say like this. No force is experienced. A coil of insulated copper wire is connected to a galvanometer. What will happen if a bar magnet is pushed into the coil? First is this. So when a bar magnet is pushed inside the coil, the magnetic field lines which is linked with the coil will change, that is, will increase. So it causes the electric current to get induced in it, and the needle of galvanometer will move momentarily in one direction. The second case is withdrawn from inside the coil. See, whenever there is a change, then only you will see current. So when a bar magnet is withdrawn from inside the coil, the magnetic field lines linked with the coil changes, but in decreasing order. So current will be induced in the coil, which will be indicated by deflection of needle in the galvanometer, and the deflection is opposite what was here in the case A. So this indicates that the direction of induced current is now opposite to the direction of induced current in the case A. Held stationary inside the coil, so when there has to be change, there will be no change. When a bar magnet is held stationary inside the coil, there will be no deflection in the galvanometer. So this is because there is no change in magnetic field lines which are linked with the coil. So no induced current will flow through the coil. There has to be some change, either withdrawing or either pushing down the coil. State the rule to determine the direction of magnetic field produced around a straight conductor carrying current. So direction of magnetic field produced around a straight current carrying conductor is given by right hand thumb rule. So if we hold a current carrying conductor in a right hand in such a way that stretched thumb is along the direction of the current, then the curly fingers around the conductor will represent the direction of magnetic field lines. Force experienced by a current carrying straight conductor placed in a magnetic field which is perpendicular to it. So here the direction of force experienced by a current carrying straight conductor placed in a magnetic field which is perpendicular to it will be given by Fleming left hand rule. So we have to stretch the thumb, forefinger and middle finger of left hand in such a way they are mutually perpendicular to each other. So if the forefinger points to the direction of magnetic field and the middle finger points in the direction of the current, then the thumb will point in the direction of motion or the force which is acting on the conductor. Describe an activity to demonstrate the pattern of magnetic field lines around a straight conductor carrying current. So this we have already seen, so I'll just skip it. What we have to do here is we have to put some nails here or iron fillings here, and when you pass the current you will see, and just tap it, you will see they will be in the circular ring formation. So I'll just skip this, okay, because this we have already seen in the previous discussion. Draw a diagram to represent a uniform magnetic field in a given region. So equidistant parallel line, see the distance between them are equidistant. This is D, this is also D, this will also be D. So equidistant parallel line indicate a uniform magnetic field in a given region. List two properties of magnetic field lines. So properties of magnetic field lines are like this, that the magnetic field lines of a magnet form continuous closed loop. That is, outside the magnet they emerge from north pole and merge at the or come inside or get inside the south pole. So this is NS. They start from here and come inside, and then inside this they go like this. So the direction of field lines is from south pole to its north pole inside the magnet. The degree of closeness of field lines, if they are close, pretty close like this, this indicates that the magnetic field is stronger. If they are apart, means the distance is large, that means it is feeble. Field line will never cross each other. Crossing means if they cross, then at the crossing point it will have two directions simultaneously, which is impossible. With the help of an activity, explain the method of inducing electric current in a coil with a moving magnet. State the rule used to find the direction of electric current thus generated in the coil. So we have to take a coil AB, this is coil AB, of a wire having large number of turns. So N is there, number of turn is there. We connect the coil or end of the coil with a sensitive galvanometer, as you see here. This is your bar magnet. So take a strong bar magnet here, this one, and move its north pole towards A. The deflection in the needle, which is pointed here, this is the galvanometer here, indicates that the induced current flows in the circuit in the anti-clockwise direction. The end A behaves as north pole. When the north pole of the magnet moves away from the coil, that is, if you move it away from the coil, the deflection of the galvanometer will be in opposite direction. So similar observation can be made when you put south pole of the magnet towards the coil and away from it. So when magnet is kept at rest with respect to the coil, it is not moving, the deflection of needle drops to zero. So the motion of the magnet with respect to the coil, it actually produces an induced potential difference, which sets up an induced electric current in the coil. So the direction of electric current which is generated in the coil can be easily found using the Fleming right hand rule. Two circular coils P and Q are kept close to each other, of which coil P carries a current. What will you observe in Q? If current in the coil P is changed, if both the coils are removed in the same direction with the same speed, give reason. So here first let us see about the Fleming right hand rule. We have to stretch the thumb, forefinger and middle finger of right hand in such a way they are mutually perpendicular to each other. So if the forefinger indicates the direction of magnetic field and the thumb shows the direction of motion of the conductor, then the middle finger will indicate the direction of induced current. As far as the part A is concerned, if the current in the coil P is changed, the magnetic field lines of forces linked with this coil Q also change. So induced potential difference is set up in the coil Q. So this result in induced electric current in coil Q, which opposes the change in current in coil P. And in the second part, if both the coils are moved in the same direction with the same speed, there will be no relative motion between them. Therefore, there will be no change in the magnetic field lines of force associated with the secondary coil. Therefore, no current will be induced in the coil. A charged particle enters a right angle into a uniform magnetic field like this. Here it is, a charged particle moving like this. This is a magnetic field. What should be the nature of charge on the particle if it begins to move in the direction pointed vertically out of the page due to its interaction with the magnetic field? So we can use the Fleming left hand rule. The nature of the charged particle is positive. A coil of insulated wire is connected to galvanometer. What would be seen if a bar magnet with its north pole towards one face of the coil is moved quickly towards it, move quickly away from the coil and placed near its one face? Name the phenomena involved. So first, if we take first case, deflection in the galvanometer needle will be more on right side. Second case, larger deflection in opposite direction as compared to case first will be seen. And then third, if you see, there will be no deflection. This is the third one. And the phenomena involved is electromagnetic induction. Two coils A and B are of insulated wires are kept close to each other. Coil A is connected with a galvanometer while coil B is connected to a battery through a key. So what would happen if a current is passed through coil B by plugging the key? The current is stopped by removing the plug from the key. Explain your answer mentioning the name of the phenomena involved. This already we have seen. In both the cases, galvanometer will show momentarily deflection but in opposite direction. So in coil A, magnetic field lines, because it increases in case first, and in this case first it will increase and here it will decrease. This will induce a potential difference across the coil A, which sets up a induced electric current in coil second coil. So it is shown by the deflection in galvanometer, and this is known as electromagnetic induction. Name any two appliances which are based on the application of heating effect of electric current. So room heater and geyser, these are following the heating effect of electric current. An electric oven of 2 kilowatt power rating is operated in a domestic electric circuit 220 volt that has a current rating of 5 ampere. What result do you expect? Explain. So current being drawn by electric oven is, I P equal to VI, so I will be P by V. 2 kilowatt, we make it as 2000, this is 220 volt, this is 9.09 ampere. So current rating is 5 ampere. So fuse will eventually blow off and the power supply will cut off. So current drawn by the electric oven, as you see here, the current rating is 5 ampere, so fuse is eventually going to blow off and power supply will be cut off. When is the force experienced by a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field largest? So when the length of current carrying conductor and direction of magnetic field are perpendicular to each other, the maximum force is experienced by the current carrying conductor. Consider a circular loop of wire lying in the plane of the paper. Let the current pass through the loop clockwise. With the help of the diagram, explain how the direction of magnetic field can be determined inside and outside the loop. Name the law used to find the direction of magnetic field. So just consider this circular loop of wire. This is having a radius r with center O lying in the plane of the paper. So let the current I, this is I, pass through the loop clockwise. So according to right hand thumb rule, direction of magnetic field due to any portion of small current carrying length of the coil is, the direction of magnetic field inside the loop will be direction to the plane of screen, you can say, or paper inwards, and direction of magnetic field outside the loop, because the direction, it will be perpendicular to the plane of paper or screen outwards. So the direction of magnetic field can be considered as the direction of total magnetic field due to circular coil, as current through all the elements will contribute to the magnetic field in the same direction. So these were the question and answer which were asked in board and important questions as well. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.